It's a pleasure to host you at today's event on AI and marketing. We are truly grateful for your presence and your enthusiasm to explore the future of marketing technology. I am Abhigna Rambatla, your MC for today's event. To formally open the event, I invite Mr. Enoch, founder and CEO of Smarketus, to deliver the welcome note.
Okay, the clicker. How many of you had lunch? How many of you are feeling sleepy? It's a proper time for a siesta. So, thank you everyone for being here, taking time out of your busy schedules. I'll usually start, every time I give a speech or a talk or something, I'm usually not nervous, but today I'm a little nervous. This is our first event in Hyderabad. So I'll tell you a small story. I'm sure you know of Santa Banta jokes, right? We have Santa Banta joke with AI. So Santa and Banta are having a conversation. Santa is asking, I have this new AI tool that we're going to use for our marketing programs. It's going to help us do a lot of things, make it really easy. And Banta is like, really? What does it do? And Santa says it analyzes data, creates content, and optimizes ads. Wow, does it handle complaints as well? Then Santa says no. It doesn't handle complaints, but it can tell you how to handle a situation. Then Banta says perfect. So it's almost acting like a psychic for you. And he says yes, because it panics before I do. So thank you everyone for being here, and a very good afternoon to all of you. This is by far something that we wanted to do for a very, very long time. And our partnership with HubSpot made this possible. Firstly, thank you to the HubSpot team for collaborating with us and helping us organize this. And thank you all for coming here. We have a lot of senior marketing leaders, founders, technologists, strategic advisors for companies, different roles that you're playing across different organizations. Thank you for being here. So without further ado, I wanted to quickly take about 5 to 10 minutes just to give you a quick glimpse of firstly what we do here at Smarketers, and then have a couple of slides that I wanted to share. So it's working. So I founded Smarketers in 2016. Worked for technology companies prior to that, heading sales and marketing teams. I used to also consult with a few other firms. There I saw that a lot of companies were just following traditional methods, doing just standard cold calling, or driving referral-based business. When I saw that inbound marketing or ABM really helped companies scale, that's what I wanted to bring to technology firms primarily. And that's how we started. Can you go to the next slide? So we have been primarily focusing on working with B2B firms, whether it's large technology companies, mid-size or growth stage startups, and so on. We also work with manufacturing, like industrial manufacturing, and even life sciences firms across the globe. So we specialize in account-based marketing, inbound marketing, demand generation. We are partners with HubSpot. We do a lot of MarTech implementations, integrations, and so on. And we're also the only agency from India that has been recognized by ITSMA, for our work in account-based marketing. So we've also been doing a lot of experiments around AI. We use a lot of tools, almost 15 plus tools, along with a lot of automations like with N8N, Make.com. So every new product that comes in, every new feature that comes in, I also have my good friend and partner Manish, who is a step ahead of everyone in terms of understanding, what new stuff is there around AI. So I, get a lot of ideas from him as well. So can we quickly move to the next slides? Don't want to waste time. All right. I think I have to cut short my talk. So what we're seeing and what I wanted to showcase was how we're seeing a shift in how companies are adopting AI. There's a major shift in terms of how companies are basically, if most of you are reading Gartner reports, McKinsey reports, and so on and so forth, there's a lot of shift that's happening where CMOs are heavily dependent, when it comes to strategic decisions, understanding, how to change or make certain organizational shifts in terms of the way they're thinking from a marketing standpoint. A lot of reliance is increasing from an AI, on AI. Similarly, companies, especially marketers themselves, almost 48 to 50% of marketers now are leveraging at least one to two AI tools. So, and I mean, in the recent past, like I've been doing a lot of interviews, almost do like 4 to 5 interviews a day. Every single conversation I have, I see that marketers at least are using ChatGPT. In addition to that, yeah. So in addition to that, they're also using a lot of other platforms. So if you see some stats here quickly, we're seeing that a lot of investment priorities are increasing from a content generation perspective, getting customer insights. Personalization has become one of the key drivers for marketing, given that the traditional channels are not working anymore. Your standard emails don't work, your standard cold calling, or any of the LinkedIn strategies also are not really panning out because everyone's just going to the same channels. So personalization is key, and AI is really helping us do that. So if you see, it's not just getting into AI is not just a competitive advantage; it's a fundamental necessity now. So almost 30% of outbound marketing messages, if you're using tools like Clay and some of the enrichment tools, and then connecting that to specific other platforms, you're actually able to drive a lot of that automation and personalization directly. So we're seeing the CMO effectiveness also shaping up, whether in terms of the how they're actually looking at taking data-driven decisions, like whether it's data integration or getting market insights and so on. So the overall budget allocation versus strategic needs, if you see the budget allocation in terms of content production or AI or campaign execution and so on, AI is actually continuously on a increasing pattern. And in terms of the use cases, we are seeing the text generation, especially on the content front. The text side of things are taking the higher precedence, and then followed by image, code generation, video production, and audio creation. So pretty much anyone, I was talking to a friend the other day, they're traveling and then they're using ChatGPT to get all of the insights. So text-based insights are by far number one. Then if you see in terms of the key business value that we're able to drive as well, we're seeing that the value realization in terms of investments that are going into AI are very high compared to the traditional methods. So finally, the future belongs to marketers who just don't adopt AI, but they're someone who actually is reimagining AI at the core of what you do in marketing. And this event, we would like to invite you to firstly, we have some amazing lineup of speakers, real use cases, actual demos of, shown by Leela and Manish. And, we don't want you to miss that. At the same time, we would like you to network. We have, a networking session later and then also a jam session. So would like you to participate in that as well. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day, and we are here to answer any questions. Everyone you see in black t-shirts with HubSpot's marketers logos will be happy to help you. Thank you again.
It is now my privilege to introduce keynote speaker of today's event, Mr. Adarsh, Director for India and SAARC at HubSpot. With over 20 years of experience leading marketing and GTM strategy for brands like Salesforce, Oracle, Informatia, Adarsh is here to share how AI is reshaping the modern marketer's playbook. Please welcome Adarsh to the stage.
Thank you for the patience. Really admiring everybody patiently waiting for this to start. What we can promise to you is it'll be worth the wait, right? That said, is there any entrepreneur here who is working on event management, anything like that? Awesome. Can you build an AI-powered event management software that has no technical glitches? I will fund you. All right. Hopefully, let's start. It is working. Quickly, my name is Adarsh Norona. I'm the country head for HubSpot India. How many of you don't know HubSpot? Just raise of hands. Apart from what you've heard today. No. Okay. How many of you have used HubSpot? Using or used? Oh my God. So I can't bluff my way out today. Oh, this is difficult. All right. I promise to keep half of you awake, which means if you want to be on the other side of the fence, please relax. You won't miss much. But what we're going to talk today is going to probably change the way you progress in your career. If you're a marketer, if you're a CMO, entrepreneur, or just somebody who's observing everything that's happening in the industry, there hasn't been a better time to be in this room than right now. That much I can guarantee you. So let's get started. Ideally, probably I think this is the first ever Hyderabad event that HubSpot has done. And you guys are the first ever audience. So this, nobody can take it away. Nobody can change the first. We will have hundreds of events going forward. HubSpot in India is growing like that hockey stick, you remember? That's how it's happening. So, down the years, if you see one another in some event, somewhere, when the family of HubSpot is so big, you will tell that I was there in that T-Hub event, okay? I'm hoping the QR scan code that she asked us to do, will that build us as a community? Hopefully get in touch with each other. That's awesome. The power of community is amazing. And some of you are community builders here. Some of you are entrepreneurs around that. You are a true testimony to what we in India as a community can achieve. And India as such, and whenever I talk, I get goosebumps around it, we're going to be one of the most powerful nations. Trust the experts who've been saying this. They've been saying it since I was a kid in school, but now I'm witnessing it happen. Finally, we are now a force to reckon with. The kind of startups that are coming, kind of industry, kind of influence we have in the larger global market is tremendous. What does that mean to each one of us? Every one of us here, no matter what you do, how big in the career ladder you are, or how big is your company that you're on, doesn't matter. You are not witnessing India's growth, you are making it. You're part of that. You remember that. That's, sorry, some patriotic feelings. I was supposed to sell HubSpot, I'm selling India. Anyways, ideally, this could be also my last presentation here, because the next one might be my hologram standing here and doing the AI-fed presentation. Hopefully that day is not far away. Quickly jumping in, I know there are timekeepers here who are already having red eyes on me. So I will stick to what I wanted to present to you. Quickly, maybe I'll stand here. It's easier for all of you to see. I think some of the questions that come on top of the mind generally are, and this is a collection of the points that I wrote based on some of the CEO meetings that I do often. And I think the number one is, what will the front office look like? When I say front office, it's sales and marketing. I think it's easier. It's too difficult there. Imagine sales if you've done for a decade plus now, even 2 years ago. There were a lot of mentors who taught you how to do sales. Guess what now? Those mentors are students. Everybody's changing. It's a human revolution. This is the third biggest human revolution that we are seeing. You remember, some of you are old like me, 40 plus. You remember how we at days where internet was not for us, internet was only for few. That was the first revolution. And now many of you will know, as you were growing up, you had only those small phones, just green and red buttons. Smartphones was a revolution. Changed the way we work, changed the way we live. This is the third biggest revolution. I was in SAS Bhumi Chennai event. Somebody said, US became a trillion market with the help of these revolutions of internet and phone. India will leap ahead of that because we already have internet, we already have mobile. Our fintech penetration in India is way above many years compared to other countries, other developed countries. It's a feeling of such pride. If you're a citizen of India, you have to have shoulders broad and feel nice about what's coming your way. And everybody, I encourage all of you to really not think small, but think bigger. If you're an entrepreneur, your TAM should not be Telangana or South India, Southeast Asia. No, globe is your market. And the reason why I'm saying it is because we at HubSpot are witnessing some of the smallest companies. I was telling some friends there, 12-member team in 8 months did an 100 million turnover, SaaS company, 12-member. Took ages for enterprises to reach that mark before. Today, anybody and everybody can do what these enterprises took 20, 30 years to do. Your sales team, I was about to say front office, your sales team is now, half of the job is done automatically. Half of the job is very informed involvement with their prospects. And I'll explain more. Your service teams, for example, we at HubSpot also have customer support. We used it ourselves. In the first month, 80% of the tickets that we were solving, human solving, solved by AI. 80% in 1 month. Now you are asking how many did you lay off? We haven't. We are using them to do better jobs, more complex. I'll come to that also because end of the day, AI is as good as your foundational layer. So if you are representing a company, if you're running a company, ask this question to yourself. How is your data? Where is it stored? Is it structured? Or you don't have a grasp on that. Think about it. The other question is obviously, is AI the best hire? Absolutely yes. Imagine a sales guy who's not taking leave, working 24/7, doesn't matter working late hours, you're working when you're asleep. Yeah, AI is the best hire. But is AI coming for our jobs? It is coming, taking the boring part of your jobs. Remember this. Many of you ask this question to all these AI experts. The noise in AI community is so big. Every other day there is a new AI company coming. They're doing Shusha. So fundamental question is, will I lose my job? You will lose your job, the boring part of the job. If you limit yourself to the boring part of it, you will be replaced. But if you evolve, you will stay relevant. Hence, this gathering, what you've chosen to be here, is the best thing you've done for today. The reason why all this is happening, if you can probably look at it, the way marketing as we know, good old days, you needed one jingle, nice jingle and a billboard, marketing was a hit. Now it is a deep scientific research-led activity. It's no longer the old marketing. So CMOs and marketers will agree. It takes a lot now. AI is your best scientific assistant in that. And I give you that example of 100 people eating 100 million, 12 people eating 100 million. Democratization. Everybody getting access to AI, same. It could be a big tech giant. It could be somebody in Gachibowli having a small team, same level of expertise. We are moving from a system of record to system of action. What do I mean by that? Let's say you have a pantry and the way you can imagine, go back and imagine your pantries. Is that pantry ready for a Michelin star chef to come and work? That's the question you need to ask, because now gone are the times when you keep stuff, keep data in a way and extract. Now the action is happening in that layer, and I'll explain deeper later. So, without much ado, quick questions on the reality check. Yes, everything is okay, but resource, talent crunch, there is time. It's like Formula One. Anybody saw the F1 movie recently? Imagine you are asked to race in that track against that car, but with the car that you drew to that stadium. That's the difference. If you're not in that fast lane, you're going to lose. So that's a crunch. And everything has a faster deadline now. You should imagine AI like this. And I'll put it in a way you can remember even after you go out of this room. Things that you did so long, if you want them to be done better, faster, and voluminously, then that is AI for you. What AI is also doing is transformation, which is things that you thought, nobody can do that. AI is doing it. That's the transformation. So there are two parts of that. So you need to be sure on what adoption of AI is doing to your businesses and how quickly. We'll talk about other things in a while. I want to introduce you to how HubSpot is thinking about AI. First of all, we are removing the clutter from your mind. Because you will get, if you start reading Economic Times and all the online, including the Instagram influencers, everybody is an AI expert. Everybody knows which tool to do what. Everybody has an agent, etc., etc. So where does this leave you? So HubSpot is thinking this way. If you're a company, adoption of AI should be from day one. It's no longer a digital transformation project that you have to invest so much and then eventually become an AI ready company. No, you will be AI ready day one. That's the belief system that we have in HubSpot. So if you're associated with HubSpot, you will see it in action. How do we do this? I'll go to the architecture of it so that I can put you to sleep, but essentially we are making sure whatever data you have in whichever form, that is cross-leveraged and insights are driven out of it. And I'll show you the architecture, you'll understand that. The three major pieces to it is, one is Copilot. Everybody knows what a Copilot is? No? Generally, it's your best friend, that's all. Right? If you're a sales guy, you have a sales Copilot, it's your best friend, it knows everything. If you're a service person or a marketer, Copilot will do your job. Things that you always had, the philosophical question some of us will have, doing the same thing again and again, and you'll ask, what is life? That is when you go to Sadhguru, you listen all those videos. Because you're so tired of doing the same thing again. Your Copilot does that for you. Imagine a chief of staff who knows about your company, your visions, your job, you as a person, your deliverables, your KPI, everything he or she knows. That's your Copilot. Copilot will do the mundane job away from you. That's typically Copilot. What we are doing at HubSpot is we are bringing all the capabilities of an LLM into HubSpot. So that's a decluttering that we are doing, first thing. Second, we are bringing in a lot of out-of-the-box agents. For example, customer agent. What is customer agent? Most of the customer service companies will know. The example that I gave you, which we used. It's like some of the things that are that we have grown up saying, if the laptop is not working, can you switch it on and switch it off? That's the first thing we say in India. So all these things will be done by the agents. Now, you as a service agent, you handle very complex and very high integration level conversations. All these smaller things, your Copilot, your co-agent, the agent will do it for you. In HubSpot, we are bringing it in a very couple of ways. One is for customer service. One is for your knowledge agent. Knowledge agent is like, you think of a librarian. If you've ever been to a library, these days nobody read this book. The librarian has all the knowledge of the library books and is willing to share that knowledge. It's a very rare librarian. That's your knowledge-based agent. Prospecting agent is the same. If you're a salesperson, you have a good friend who's not at all tired, doesn't need smoke breaks, doesn't drink tea, working on weekends. It's really prospecting automatically all the time. So that's your prospecting. Content and social agent also. Basically, if you're a company, your touch points are many places for a customer journey. Some touch points are early in the stage, some during when they become customers, some when they are serviced or supports, and many of them feel differently at different times. So all these agents, no, content agent, social agent, they'll make sure your branding persona is well maintained. So everybody feels across the customer journey the right vibe about your company. That's it. In the event of, sorry, I know time is running out. I'll keep it very crisp. Coming soon, so don't take pictures of this because then I will have to apply in Naukri.com. It's coming soon and it's a game changer. What are we doing? We are not only giving our HubSpot community all these agents and every beautiful thing, but we are also encouraging you to build it. So we're building a studio and we're giving the studio to you. The tools that you need to build an agent, we are allowing you to do happily. We're building this ecosystem like crazy. But if you build and nobody buys, what's the point? So we are also giving you marketplace. So you build and put it up. So all of us, all of them, everybody across the world can build good agents and put it up in the marketplace. This will be game changer. It will really change the way our offices work. Afternoon time, I don't want to bore much, but you all know about this. If you want more details, I am around during the coffee sessions or later in the evening. I'll take you deeper into it. But just a 10,000 feet above, basically what it says is, if you're in HubSpot, it's a feel of being in ChatGPT or Gemini. So you can query with natural language, let's say, can you give me a list of 50 companies in Hyderabad who have generated net new revenue so much so and attended some event like this, some query like that. And it will search everywhere and bring you that data. And HubSpot is the first CRM in the world which has got a connector to ChatGPT. It's called Deep Research Connector. Read about it. That is the power you get when you are inside HubSpot. AI meeting assistant is the same example I told you. Right? Generally, these days when we do Zoom meetings, earlier I used to have a nice notebook. My wife would present me a yearly calendar so that I write down every day what meetings and all. I used to scribble a lot. These days, this AI assistants, note takers, they not only listen, they also summarize, they'll send an email. Worst thing, they'll send an email to your boss also. So you need to be very careful what you speak these days. Everything runs on data, like I said. Now the problem is, garbage in is garbage out anyways. But with AI, garbage in is slightly better garbage out. But still garbage out. So you need to be very careful. What we are doing is, we are helping all of you to not bother about where your data is. Yes, about 20% of it is structured. Your screen sheet, Excel sheets, your PDFs, all that. But you know the number of conversation you do on the phones, the emails that you send, the messages that you send, the meeting notes that you would have said, the verbal conversations. HubSpot is picking up now 100% of that and then making insights. So that's a powerful thing. If you think about it, we used to have big data management companies run this. Now it's at your fingertips. It's really a revolution. If I speak about one slide, I can speak one day. That's how deep it is. I'm not scaring you guys. I'm just saying it is going to help you to do better job at what you're doing. That's it. This is the architecture level. Now you can go to sleep. Oh, did I do something magic? I didn't do anything. Sorry. No, I can't do much. Technical glitch. So architecture is very simple. There are 4 layers. Your data layer, you think of context setting is the data layer. Bring it up. You have a bit of intelligence layer. So you drive insights out of it. Then you have a security layer so that you put in whatever controls you need. And then you consume, which is through your HubSpot or any other visual tool. That's all. It's very simple. It's no nonsensical, simple architecture. When you understand that, then you will understand the power of AI. Because now we are making, there you go. context layer, intelligence layer, not bad. I didn't make a mistake. So this is something that probably will remain with you because HubSpot is not doing a shabby job out of it. We're thinking through of this, removing the clutter. We are going deep in our architecture. We are encouraging ecosystem. That is how we are going to be the front leaders in this space going forward. Now, when I've said all that and such a big event is happening, obviously you'll say, naturally you will charge us for all this. Thumb rule, we don't charge you. We are making sure all our HubSpot customers get AI built in free with the licenses. That fine print, now quickly I'll read, like that insurance advertisements. The agents that you use to make money, we will take a bit of it, but we'll give you the credits. None of you understood that, stayed that way. I was just joking. So HubSpot doesn't charge you for whatever I just mentioned, the things that help you to become a better salesperson, better service person, all that, so that you do well with your customers. But some of the agents, like customer agent, they will be charged on credit basis. You'll have to buy the credits and you can consume it, which is, anyways, you're making money out of it, so we take it. Otherwise, making you a better company is in our vision, and all our investments, efforts are to make our HubSpot community grow faster. If you see HubSpot's advertisements, you don't see. But some of the other companies in CRM, you will see everywhere from airport, Rahul Dravid to Virat Kohli, everybody is advertising these days. Don't ask Rahul Dravid what is an agent for, all that questions, because he's paid well to do it. I tried asking Virat Kohli, but he said he's retired, so he's not doing anything else. So I can't get him. I think my best option is Enoch. The personality that he has on the stage, I can leverage him. That said, thank you so much for the patience, for listening. If it was a bit of 10,000 feet and above, excuse me, this is not a PPT I did. Breeze did it for me. I said I want to go and do this keynote, and this is how it made. But that said, I'm so excited to see all of you. This is our first event in HubSpot. Thanks to our brilliant partners, marketers. They're wonderful force to reckon with. And I wish you all the best. I want you to become one of the biggest in HubSpot's community, grow outside India in a big way, and become that billion-dollar companies that we are saying. So we want to grow with you, and we want you to really align to ensure everybody in Hyderabad region, whoever has come, gets the kind of tender love and care that HubSpot believes in giving to our customers. We want to really help everybody to grow better. We are not competing here with each other. We are helping each other. Hence, do the networking, use the community, talk to us. We have a HubSpot community. We want to help all of you. Come and join if you're not in HubSpot. Come and join our family. We are competitive. We've just launched India office in October 2024. It was the first time we opened a legal entity. We've been running the show for 5-6 years from Singapore. Now we are here. We'll open offices in Hyderabad, Mumbai, Delhi, all over. We are growing. We want you to grow with us. We want to grow with you. And that's a community we'll build together. Thank you so much.
AI is not going to replace our jobs. Now, moving forward, we are joined by Ms. Ramya Anudeep, Senior Marketing Manager at Syntesa, who brings a decade of experience in B2B demand generation. She'll speak about how AI is enabling personalized omni-channel customer strategies. Please welcome Ms. Ramya Anudeep.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everybody's awake. All right. So I'm here today to talk about how you can leverage AI to unlock customer loyalty with hyper-personalization in multi-channels. So I just want to ask you one question. Just imagine if you're a founder or someone who is leading a e-com brand per se, what is that one North Star metric that you care about if you want to take it long term? Can anyone answer? Just one North Star metric for an e-com brand. Yes? Okay. Any other options? Repeat purchase. Any other? Any other options? ROAS. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'll rephrase my question. Why do you think the top brands stayed there on the top till now? Just like Lenovo, Currys, Adidas. So why do you think? What is it different? What is that one thing that they're doing it in a different way? Yeah, customer retention. Any other things? Yeah, personalization, omnipresence, customer satisfaction, value, emotional connect. Okay. Come again? Okay. Which is called customer experience, where all these brands are revolving around. That is the one important metric why the top brands are staying on top. So today we are going into deep around technology behind making that customer experience possible by leveraging AI. Okay, let us travel back in time. So 30 years back, we were just hitting the market with Microsoft Docs and Google Slides. So people are like excited. Is there anyone who have witnessed a world without docs and slides? Is there anyone in the room witnessed a world without slides and docs? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yes. So you must be wondering how the shift has happened and what kind of productivity, enhancement has been done. So previously they were just keeping on writing the reports or just keep on typing things. This is a lot of mundane work, just like Adarsh is talking about. Now, which has moved to a much better tools, which is reducing the work that we can do. But are you working 2 days a week? Definitely no. We are working even more because with this kind of productivity, we are having a lot of content being generated. So let's say a marketer, traditionally a marketer, right brain is very active and he's, super excellent in bringing out the content, which our ChatGPT at its core have enhanced it to 40%. Just imagine the number 2 years from now. So that level of content is getting into the market from the creator's point of view, right? From the marketer's point of view. Now imagine us as a consumer. So what is happening to us? We are bombarded with so much of content from all the places, in all the channels. Now what is happening? Like we are seeing the same kind of content with a very minimal changes here and there, and they're not able to cut through the noise. We are like getting a lot of spam and there's so much of stuff, content happening without any personalization. So that is the reason many brands are dying out there, because there is so many data points that we have to leverage and which are not actually being utilized in a proper way. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, the overwhelming data. So when you give your personal information on those websites, and let's say an e-com website, an apparel store or a fashion or a shoes brand or whatever, if they cannot keep you or if they cannot convert you for the next 15 to 20 days, the job is over. You'll obviously run to another brand because your experience is not great. Because you have given the most valuable thing, which is your personal information. And when you gave that, they have to understand what's your behavior, what kind of interests you have. So based on that, they have to customize the recommendations for you. Because definitely customer experiences are, expectations are rising. And these stats are from McKinsey and Forrester. So they don't want to be overwhelmed with a lot of products. They just want few things bundled together, which is very much relevant to them. And it shouldn't be something you're selling cat cookies for a dog parents, right? So it's very contrasting. So previously, customers used to go to the main menu and then they used to search the options down there. It has moved to the search bar kind of experience where we used to have this relevant products. Now it has moved to recommendations. And if you fail at providing the right recommendations, and you're losing the customers. So this is the exact place we are trying to leverage AI. So how do we solve this? So the personalization has to come into picture. So the tech that's behind personalization, especially those brands that I talked about, like Adidas, Lenovo, Currys, so they are having huge customer data warehouses where they store all the data because they have data coming in from different places. There are like hundreds of different sources. It can come from the stores, it can from their emails, it can come from their loyalty programs, or website, app. So there are so many sources. That source information is coming to their warehouse, but that's not enough. What is a warehouse doing is just collecting the data and giving a simple dashboard to you with some kind of analytics. That's it. But now what more you need? You need to segment this audience in such a way that you're talking the right message to the right person at the right time. And more importantly, you have to know who that person is, what kind of behavior he's having, what's his behavior in terms of the product that he's buying, what's his conversation percentage. So that is when the data warehouse has been enhanced to a customer data platform where we can collect the data from different sources and we can segment them where the AI is playing an important role here. So not just AI and ML models as well, where you can see different attributes are being built and then different audiences are being built. So who are the set of audience who have checked out a particular product in the past 7 days? So what do you have to talk to that particular audience? You have to give a X amount of offer so that the person can get converted within a few minutes. You can't believe this. You have to take action in less than 200 milliseconds. If you cannot convert or personalize that in-session event in less than 200 milliseconds, you will lose the customer. So the computing power of these platforms has been so effective in delivering this kind of personalized experiences. So now once this audience is built, it's getting activated to whatever destination that you put to. Whatever favorite destinations that you are doing it. Can be ads or it can be display or it can be Amazon. Whatever destinations that you put to, you can just activate that particular audience with single click. So the problem with many brands is they have lots of data. These are all age-old brands. They have tons and tons of data lying in their database. But what are they doing with the data is much more important. So CEOs come to the marketing. Marketing is, of course, recognized as one of the most revenue generating department right now. So CEOs come to the marketing team and we have so much of data now. What are we going to do with this? How are we going to leverage this? So that's when we have to understand how we are going to connect different siloed data in different places and provide the best output, that means revenue, out of this customized AI and ML models. Yeah, so if we take a little bit closer look on how the experience looks like. So these are two experiences. One is on returning customer and one is on the loyal customer. So in the returning customer, he received a personal email and then he clicks on the landing page that was there on the email and then he browses some products and then he came out of the website. He didn't buy it. After a few days, he got another email which is featuring okay, boss, you just saw this product few days back. So now we are offering you 50% off. So many of you must have encountered this kind of situation, right? So then you take an action. Some person doesn't take an action immediately again. Then you will get an SMS and then you will click a link. After that, you add to cart and complete the checkout. So this is a scenario of a returning customer. So now, what if it's a loyal customer? So they know you very well. They know what kind of product you like, what color you like, which design you like, everything. So now what happens when you come to the website? So your first name is there on the top. How would you feel? On a top brand website, your name, hey, hi, your name, that feels so special, right? So that is the level of personalization the brands are coming up with, which enhance you to purchase that particular product. Now, you will look at the product reviews and you leave the site. And then an automatic email with 20% off, and then you add to cart and you check out. And then it gives you an automatic reminders and you will be added into the cadence because you are a loyal customer. So this is one of the typical use cases in terms of returning and loyal customers. So where do you see this generally on Netflix? So or even YouTube Music or places like that. You browse something and it takes your interest. So based on that, it starts showing you recommendations, which is the most powerful thing to keep you engaged in the same tool or a product that they have. Yes, so these are some of the solutions that were built by using this AI and ML models, which are enhancing brands to make more revenue from the hyper personalization part. So you can see, you must have already observed from different places like Amazon, because they're already implementing such things. So you may like these. Once in a while, push notifications you might be getting, bestsellers bought together, and recommendations, as I said, similar products, recently viewed ones. You might get a email saying that this is something that you viewed, which is out of stock. Now we would like to show you a similar one, which you might be interested in. And then the most popular ones as well. So I come from a company called Synthasa, which is a composable CDP platform, which is a customer data platform, which actually collects all the data of a brand and it stitches and it unifies each profile. Let's say you come from different, what do you call, you come from a mobile or you come from a laptop or you come from any other different sources, but still it should not duplicate you in different ways. It should identify you and unify you as a single person. So that is what this product that we are doing, which actually generated $1 million revenue, actually multi-million dollar revenue for our brands. So these are all the brands like Lenovo, Currys, Sky, and Samsung, Adidas. So these are a few brands that we were working with. And these are the results, if you can see. So this is in-session marketing, where I just talked about a scenario where on the fence and if you give an offer, they get converted kind of scenarios. So this particular brand, I cannot disclose the name, but particular brand generated $2.3 million revenue with just getting this in-session marketing solution getting implemented. And audiences. So as I said, unifying the audience is very important. So we stitch the audience from different places and unify them so that marketing, sales, and even the customer success all looks at that person in the same way. Yeah, so there are 4 steps that I want to talk about. The first thing is centralize your data. So if you have a huge customer base, it should always be centralized and unified with products like customer data platforms. And make sure you are backed with data decisions, because data is everything. Data is your gold mine, literally. So you have to make sure that the action or the AI and ML model output has to come from your data. and mobile first. As we can see, the survey revealed that at least a person is spending 4 hours every day on mobile. So every product or every solution that you bring out has to be mobile first. And definitely different channel experiences has to be connected, especially your mobile and web applications. Yeah, I'm Ramya. I have 11 years of B2B marketing experience. Right now, I'm heading GTM and digital marketing at Sintasa. So I'm curious about these topics. So let's catch up. Any questions from anyone? Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ramya, for that comprehensive view on building loyalty through personalization. That was both practical and inspiring. Up next, we have Mr. Prashant, a seasoned performance marketing expert who specializes in leveraging AI for campaign optimization. Please join me in welcoming him to the stage.
Afternoon. Thank you, Enoch, for inviting me. Such a great pleasure. I've known Enoch for the last 30 years, since I was a kid. We both were kids. He was my senior, and it goes long, long, long back. I and Enoch and his brother, we have a bunch of friends. So, yeah, thank you. So nice to see you, doing amazing stuff. My name is Prashant. I run a company called Measure Marketer. I'm an ex-Google employee, worked very short period of time, only for 2 years. That's where I really got to understand the wonder of performance marketing. I was working with Google Ads team. I quit early because I wanted to start my entrepreneurial instinct. I came out, started an agency. I never, thought, or I thought it worked good, but it was not working for me because back in those days, 12, 13 years ago, people were not interested in spending ads, money into ads. They were only into SEO. Back in those days, digital marketing, there was no word called performance marketing or growth marketing. It was only SEO, and people were absolutely not interested in spending money. But today, fast forward today, people spend so much money into paid ads. They invest so much money into, Meta campaigns and Google campaigns and LinkedIn campaigns and every other platform that's out there, even TikTok. Right. So I run this company called Measure Marketer. So primarily my scope of work is implementing tracking and measurement. I'm a solid tracking and measurement guy, worked with super big companies as big as the biggest financial institutions of country. I've set up tracking for them. 95% of my clients are from US and Europe. I set up everything that basically involves tracking and measurement. So today I want to talk more about not what the AI can do. There's so many AI agents we're building. The world of AI basically offers us a way to program our creativity, isn't it? AI agents allow us to program our creativity, and I will leave that to your imaginations. Practically nothing is impossible. But I want to take a step back and speak more on what I see the world of performance marketing and what I do day in, day out, or in fact, I breathe measurement and tracking. So I'm going to speak more on feeding the right. I'm going to speak on feeding AI the signals it needs to perform. Fundamentally, we all should understand one point, whether you're doing Meta, Google, LinkedIn, underlying those platforms, the very platforms are built on the infrastructure, which is heavily reliant on AI and machine learning and deep learning and very, big AI models. They work on data, but you need to understand the platforms will only deliver results when you're investing money into campaigns. You want to drive results, drive your revenues, get more new customers, get returning customers. All of those things will only be possible provided you supply the right data to these platforms. I always say this, I've been advocating for many, many years. Measurement is the heart of marketing. What gets measured gets managed. In fact, you can only market what you can measure. If you can't measure it, you can't even do marketing, right? And that's exactly why how many of you are performance marketers or people invest into paid campaigns, particularly Meta and Google? I have super amazing people who are going to speak more on AI and what AI can do for you. I want to take a step back and see, how I look at it and what I've been doing from my lenses of implementing tracking. I established this fact that all the ad platforms underlying, if you see the infrastructure on which they are built, they are heavily reliant on data, and they need data because these AI platforms need the data to optimize. Have you ever understood even for once, what do you really mean by optimization? When I go into campaigns, any platform, the first thing they ask you is choose a campaign objective. My question is, why should I do that? What happens if I do that? Or what if I choose the wrong objective? What will happen? I'm doing right targeting. Of course, I'm not going to target a relevant audience. I'm going to target right audience. I'm going to decide my budget. I'm going to give my right bids. I have an amazing creative. I have a light landing page, conversion copy. Everything is sorted. I have a solid funnel. But what if I choose a wrong optimization, the campaign optimization? There's something that's happening behind the scenes. If you don't give it right input, the whole AI will, try to go after audiences that don't really matter to you, or they might go after audiences who don't really are your most successful customers, right? So I'm going to take this time to speak more on why it is important that you have a solid tracking deployed on your website, which allows you to track every little thing people do on your website. Every little action, every little activity can be tracked. And if only you have an infrastructure which allows you to pass that data back to the ad platforms, only then the ad platforms will have the right data of what people are doing. I love the fact that others were speaking. It is important, the super important thing, or in fact, the first thing when I joined Google, they told me the most important thing in the world of marketing then performance marketing today, they said user's journey to purchase. If only you can understand the importance of user journey to purchase, and if you can track it well, you understand where to put your money, which campaigns are working, which channels are working. It's not just important to know what channels are working, it is equally important to understand what channels work where in the user journey to purchase. And a lot of people don't have this data. The reason is they don't track it. Performance marketers don't want to go into tech because they think it's not their work. They think, oh, some programmer will do it for me. And programmers think, I don't understand anything about marketing. Why should I even worry? Right? So remember why AI isn't working for you is because we all think AI is magic, but it isn't. Everyone is excited about AI, smart bidding. Google Ads smart bidding. What is it? It is using a lot of data that we supply to it. Have you ever used something called Target ROAS, Target CPC, Target CPA, Enhanced CPC back in those days? How many of you know maximize conversions, maximize conversion value? How is Google going to do that for you? Why does Facebook ask us to implement Facebook Pixel and Conversions API? Because they want you to supply the data of every action people do on your website. Because without that, there's a complete disconnect with what Facebook knows about who saw the ad, who clicked on the ad. But absolutely disconnect between what people land on the website and do. Because there's no communication between what the platform knows and what people do on the website. And that is why Facebook says it's important that you have Facebook Pixel. And Google says that you have Google Tag, conversion tracking tag. Why do we think Facebook wants us to send lead data? I work with a lot of clients who use HubSpot to capture the lead, and a lot of stuff happens behind the scene once a lead is generated. They use a lot of AI and to analyze what kind of lead is it? Is it a qualified lead or a sales qualified, marketing qualified, converted, or disqualified lead, whatever. Everything happens behind the scenes. But Facebook or these platforms have no idea how your lead is progressing through that funnel. And it's important that we have this setup in place that sends this data back to these platforms so these platforms know what people are doing post-click. If you can only stitch the pre-click to the post-click activity, that's when you'll stitch the entire user journey. And this data can be streamed into some nice, amazing data warehouse like BigQuery, and you can run some SQL queries to extract the entire history and the entire journey of a user, exactly see how he is navigating. And that is where people who do extensive performance marketing campaigns, I work with a ton of brands, big brands, they take this thing seriously. And I want to speak more on that. Right? Everyone is excited about AI, smart bidding, creative optimization, predictive analytics, but AI is only as good as the data it receives. If your signals are weak, AI is blind. Isn't it? If you don't give them right data, what will it optimize for? Maybe it might optimize based on the training data set they have, but it might be very generic and it might not deliver the results that you expect when you're investing money into your campaigns. So you have to understand what feeds the algorithm. AI can't read your mind. If you don't send right signals, it cannot understand. That is why the very first thing when you go into campaigns, they ask you, what is your objective? Because the AI gets tunes to understand what you want to desire, what they should deliver. Right? Platforms ask, who is this user? What will they do? How much should I bid? Think about this one point. Google says, hey, I'm going to bid aggressively for people who are more likely to convert. Huh? He never converted yet. He's still searching. Facebook says, I'll try to get more best customers for you. Hey, this guy's still scrolling. He hasn't clicked on the ad. How do you have that entire auction in place that you put by ad to the right people who are more likely to convert? Lot of AI. But our, thing that as advertisers, investing money, running brands, or taking the ownership of growth marketing, setting up the entire strategy, it is important that you ensure that you have the right tracking in place. AI models depends on tracking and first-party signals. A lot of restrictions these days, right? Ad blockers, cookie restrictions. Apple came up with iOS 14, and the entire world of performance marketing was, thrown apart because they're not collecting data. The click-based attribution, which was for 30 days, now Facebook brought it to 7 days. If a person clicks today and buys in next 7 days, it cannot attribute. In fact, in some cases, when people come from Facebook and they're using Apple and they opted into the tracking thing, the cookie that is dropped on your website will only be for 24 hours, which means people click today and buy tomorrow, Facebook is not going to attribute them. Of course, you'll get sale, but if Facebook is not getting the data, then how will Facebook optimize? You'll always have your CPS skyrocketing because you can't know, or Facebook doesn't know that you spent this much money. Of course it knows, but it does not know how much money you made of it because the signals were not sent. So it's important that you ensure and have this mechanism that ensures that you send right signals and first party context. How many of you do Google Ads, please? If you can quickly raise your hand. You have something called enhanced conversions. Enhanced conversions, conversion tracking was there for the last 15 years, but Google introduced enhanced conversions. Reason? They wanted to ensure that you send first-party data so that they can use the data and attribute more to those campaigns. So the campaigns know that, yes, I'm getting best customers for them, and I have to go more, deeper into it and find more of such relevant audiences. So these advertisers keep investing more money into campaigns. If you look at this slide, you have Google Ads, your enhanced conversions, conversion value. In Google Ads, if you see, there's something called new and existing customer when you implement conversion tracking, which means Google is even asking us to send this little data point which is asking us to tell them, is that customer who purchased on the site is a new customer or new, returning customer? What would Facebook do? No company will run if they only have returning customers. Of course, you want to have returning customers as well. Keep coming back and buying from you. But you also want to have a solid pipeline of having new customers. Right? And Google wants to know that. And what if you send this data to Facebook also? You can send this data to Google saying it's a qualified lead, not just a lead. Just because somebody submitted a form, I'm sending Facebook data or Google data saying it's a lead. But we don't know if that's a lead qualified or an unqualified lead or even a convert lead, because there's a complete disconnect, because the entire sales team is working on that. And Google has no idea, Facebook has no idea, LinkedIn has no idea. And that is why all these big platforms have introduced something called Conversions API, which allows us to send data directly to their servers. And tell them, hey, you got me those many leads, but out of these leads, only 30 were converted leads or qualified leads. And then I can use that event or use that data point to optimize for more conversions, which are more leads that will eventually convert. In LinkedIn ads for B2B, ABM, they have something called lead optimization. There is this campaign strategy which allows us to optimize only for converted leads. It is all going to happen if only you have the mechanism in place which sends the data from your CRM to Facebook and through this pipeline called Conversions API. If you look at Meta Ads, it says CAPI implementation, which is called as Conversions API. We have pixel events, CRM stages. We can send the hashed first-party data to these platforms. LinkedIn, we have Conversion API, qualified lead data, conversion value, because we want them to optimize for more value. We want them to optimize not for volume, but for value. My KPI is based on only returning customers. How many customers who come to me end up buying from me again in next 2 months, next 3 months? Maybe I can do a solid cohort analysis. It even allows me to send the lifetime value, because I want Google to optimize not for one-time customers. I want Google to optimize for customers who will buy from me again and again. But that will happen if only Google and these platforms have the option of sending them the lifetime value. This is Google side of things. What if I move to Facebook In Facebook, you can create some amazing value-based audiences, right? How many of you tried these things? Value-based audiences in Facebook ads, Meta ads? Meta has this feature, a lot of people don't use it. It allows us to create audiences where I am telling Facebook that I want to create an audience of people who did a payment checkout with a sum of all the payment, ad payment options he did. Let's say if I come to the site, I did an ad payment info, I triggered an event, I did it once, and in the next 2 months I did one more time. So it tries to take the entire sum of different ad to payment events that one person did, and then create an audience of such people and throw that audience to Facebook's AI and tell him, I want you to create more of such lookalike audiences, because they might be your high value audiences. They might be, a lot of people these days don't even use targeting. They simply throw broad targeting and say, hey, let Facebook do that because I trust their AI. But if you can change that strategy and use high value audiences, trust me, it's going to be a game changer. And I'm saying this because I work with a lot of big performance marketing brands, big D2C brands in the country. There's one agency in Hyderabad who happens to be the first Meta partner. I've set up the entire conversions API for each of their clients. Second thing you see, I can create an audience, a value-based audience of only those people who purchased on my site with an overall sum, not in one transaction, but if we had 5 transactions on my site and the overall transactions value is 5,000, I want to create only such audience. Not one person who triggered a purchase event on my site, but people whose cumulative revenue he generated on my site or he transacted on my site is more than $5,000 or 15,000 rupees, whatever. You can create an audience like that. And these are very, very hot signals. People who do ad payment info, initiate checkout. Maybe not everybody who does ad payment info eventually buys. But what if you want to retarget to those people? Because these are the people who are hot in the pipeline. Am I making sense? Guys, yes? Am I going too fast? No. So I'm using these value-based audiences and expecting Facebook's AI to optimize for my results, what I expect from investing money into these platforms. Google introduced a very, very new feature just recently, last week. We capture leads, right? When people come to the website, I work with a lot of people who use HubSpot, sir. So what they ask me is, Prashant, I want you to set up tracking when people submit a form on HubSpot. That's basically embedded inside of an iframe. And we can't put the GTM code in the HubSpot, and they send the message to the parent. So we kind of write listeners to the parent and listen to that message that HubSpot sends to the parent when a form is submitted. We write code to listen not just to the HubSpot event, but also the first party data, what people entered. And we take the data and we pass them to different platforms because we want to have a first party signal rich tracking in place. And when we do that, back in those days, maybe until a month ago, we only had this option of sending leads. But now we even have the option to send data to Google Analytics and create an audience in Analytics and pipe that audience into Google Ads and do maybe marketing for your acquisition strategy, or maybe for your engagement strategy, or maybe your conversion strategy. Like top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. You see these new leads, qualified leads, converted leads. And not just that, you can actually go back and see the entire user journey to understand which channel bought me more conversions, which are qualified, which are, am I running out of time? Most marketers send events, great ones send context to AI. So new customer, lifetime value, lead stage, product margin. I was working with one solid B2B, D2C brand. They wanted me to, this is very interesting, I'll take just 5 minutes and finish off. A lot of people who are so focused on ROAS, right? But what if I tell you ROAS doesn't mean profitability? I've seen brands which have 5x ROAS but still not profitable. I've seen brands which are 7x ROAS, not profitable. Because ROAS has taken over us. We want ROAS. If you see ads on the internet, you see, hey, I'm getting 5x ROAS, 6x ROAS. No, ROAS doesn't mean profitability, but nobody talks about that. I was consulted by a brand who asked me, Prashant, I want to move away from ROAS. I want to move to something called POAS, profit on ad spend, because ROAS is not equal to profit. Most marketers optimize for revenue, but your platforms may be optimizing for unprofitable sales. When you train Google's AI, Meta AI with real profit values, it stops optimizing for expensive, low margin products. Which in simple sense, if you come to my website, you make a transaction of $1,000 maybe. $1,000 is the revenue, but that's not my profit. So what I do is I don't send $1,000 to Google and say, hey, I've got this much of revenue. And look at the conversion metric or the metrics which says, hey, this much of revenue, conversion value. But what if I translate that and send to Google or Facebook by sending not revenue, but the value that I made from it, which is my profit, the actual profit. So when you transact on my side, I'm not sending the value of transaction, but I'm sending the profit I made from the transaction, which means I'm feeding the AI algorithm to not go after my numbers, which are probably based on ROAS, but based on POAS. So we implemented server-side setup, not browser-side. We send the data to server, and server will run some logic which fetches the data from our database, which in this case is cloud storage, Firestore, or you can use even Google Sheets. There's a lot of AI tools in the market. You can create one template for yourself. So we did that. We started sending it, and you know what? This surprised me. 6 weeks, 20% more profit. 6 weeks, 20% more profit. We were storing profit values in a Firestore, and we were fetching the data. You see, this guy transacted from the site, and the value of the transaction was 1050. This is what we typically send. But what we've done, we did not send this value. We send the data to our server, and the server was sending the data to Facebook or different platforms, because we have the option to make the post request to any platform. And the value is 115, which is the user transacted for $1,550, but 1,050 rupees, but the value that we sent to the platform was 115. And now the platform knows how much I spent and how much money I made. But this value is my pure profit, which means I'm driving the platform to drive ads or deliver ads in such a way that it becomes more profitable for me. This one template which is purely built with AI. Purely, we never hired anybody. We simply used AI and we built a tool. And this tool, I work with a lot of brands, another 3 minutes. There are a lot of brands which are into healthcare, right? A lot of people today focused on health and all, right? But Facebook is very hard at them. You can't collect any sensitive data. Even the word dentist in your URL and you send that to Facebook, Facebook will suppress your pixel. And once it does, once it puts you on a core setup or data sharing restrictions, you cannot even send add to cart event, which means you cannot optimize for any of those events which matter to you. So we built this template which allows us to make sure that we transform the data and remove all the sensitive words before we send that to Facebook. And this we have done by using a server-side template, which means we are not using browser tracking. We are sending the data to server, and server will remove that entire sensitive data and send them over to Facebook or any different platform of your choice. That is exactly why it's important that you implement CAPI and conversions. So what happens when you have solid tracking? What happens when you have solid tracking? First thing, you'll recover lost signals. And I fundamentally believe signals drive success. If you don't feed the platforms which are heavily reliant on AI, you cannot see success. You're optimizing for something that is irrelevant. Your campaigns will not drive results. So you'll recover lost signals. You'll enable better optimizations. You'll boost the attribution accuracy. And you'll improve your ROAS or POAS with higher first-party signal quality. You'll find better audiences. That's exactly why it's important that you know that you have to supply the right data to these ad platforms. You can't expect these platforms to run everything knowing everything about your business. You have to supply the right data to them, and that thing is in our hands. You cannot ignore it. This is not a choice. This is mandatory. Clean data, clear signals, smarter AI. So please go ahead and audit your entire setup. Make sure that you have foolproof tracking and drive your campaigns to success. Thank you. That's my time. You're not looking data in silos, but ensure that you put all this data into one single database like BigQuery, and then write some SQL queries, amazing SQL queries. Or it gives you a lot of insights. Okay. What we generally think, hey, this is working, but eventually it turns out that's not working. So you probably switch that money from that place and invest into something that's actually working. Thank you, guys.
One last question, Prashant. So here, yeah. So you said you'll be sending the profit amount back to the platform, right? So will you be doing it dynamically depending on the product?
Yeah, it's dynamic. It's dynamic. Of course it's dynamic. If 1,000 people on my side, everybody's looking at different product, everybody's transacting with different value. Of course it's got to be dynamic.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
How many of you know this finite matrix? AAR and RRR. So these are typical SaaS metrics when you're running the campaigns. Generally, to execute this come state. So there's a dedicated team which only does activation and revenue. There's a dedicated team which only does retargeting, retention, referrals. For the very first time, you can do all. And I'm sure HubSpot is enabling that. So a couple of use cases that I wanted to demo for time interest. I'll quickly show you a few things. So if you go to our website, how many of you are using 11 Labs? So did you create your voice avatar? A lot of training, right? So what we have done is we said, okay, if the capability is basically voice agent. So what we did was I trained my own voice for almost like 2 hours. So typically, if you go to any website, you basically see a chatbot, right? You see a typical traditional form, you know, everything, right? So we have integrated my own voice. So I am the person who's actually talking on my website. So I'll just do a quick demo. This is Manish. How are you? Generated versus time, all of that. That sounds like a fantastic centralized dashboard to track your campaign KPIs will give you a great overview of your marketing performance. We can definitely help you build that. To make sure I understand your needs completely, could you clarify a couple of things? So what this agent does is it basically talks and makes sure the lead is qualified. And once the lead is qualified, it gives us the entire transcription. From there, we create a webhook. And from there, we basically send it to HubSpot. So you literally don't need a person or, don't have to go to the traditional way and said, fill the form. All these are basically done. I feel these are all old things. Now we have the platforms. You just have to go, explore, sit, try, configure. This is a new way of vibe marketing. So I want to show one more platform. This is for the outbound marketing. It's called Vapi. How many of you have sales calling people in their office? Like who does sales calling every second, So that also has been automated. So there is something called batch calling. So you can literally configure the entire flow and agent, and you can basically drop a call. Maybe I'll take somebody's number from the audience. Yeah. Can you text the number? So what I'm trying to do here is, I'm only doing one call. Humanly, it is only possible to do one call at a time. What if you want to do 1,000 calls? Like how we said, the market is global. What if you have to do 1,000 calls per city, per country? UAE, UK, US, all that is possible right now. Yeah, the call is initiated.
Hello, this is Manish from WTA Studios. Do you have a few minutes to chat about how we might be able to help your business?
Yeah, anyways, it's not taking, but
Vapi is a platform that will enable you, and at the same time, even if you take 11 Labs also has something called outbound calls. So you can basically go to batches and you can basically trigger these calls. They will talk as natural as possible and get you the intent-based leads. So all this is automated right now. Just go and explore the platform. And the other one that I want to show you today is, okay, I'll jump there. Yeah. So these are a couple of demos. What we're also trying to do with Enoch is how do we, create these videos which will help you create, understand the application and create. So all those videos and all, we are partnering with Enoch and we're creating these videos. So just wait for the playlist to come. So right now, I'm working with Enoch closely. Okay, we are working on all these tools, starting from String, Lindy, Relevance. So those are the most popular tools, and we are heavily on Claude and all the other LLMs. Zapier, I'm sure everybody knows. Zapier also has an MCP which is connected with HubSpot and all other tools. So these are, if you're able to pick 5 tools per stack. For example, right now VO3 is the most popular Google audio generator. I've been seeing a lot of reels made in Telugu. All new character channels are coming. There's some monkey man that is coming. So I was really surprised the way these people are creative. But the way I see it is, if I have to go to a production house or even if I have to go to T-Hub and if I have to ask them, hey, can you make a video for me? And I'll give them the concept. I'll give you 8 seconds concept. Okay, 8 into 10. I'll give you 10 scenes concept. Now, do you know how much time it will take for them to bring back an output? So that is what Vibe Marketing does. If you're able to understand the flow, what it is purpose for, and prompt it in such a way that an extraordinary quality output is coming, that is what these tools will do. Okay, I'll share the tech, don't worry. So we talked about voice, we talked about agents, we talked about workflows. So what is next? So the next is all about digital twins. So this is something that we recently got inspired by this platform called Bold.new. How many of you know Bold.new? So Bold.new is a platform, it's a vibe coding platform. So what they did was they created a 1 million prize money campaign where they basically put their own CEO's avatar and he started basically answering most of it. And that is basically possible by one platform called Tavis, so which we are also using. So why I want to stress on this is, if you're able to spend $60, okay, for your business, you will be the face of the business. So you are the one who's going and talking to the customer. And all these conversations are basically recorded and you come back and you basically see that. So whoever is talking about those emotional aspects that to be created from a brand point of view, since you're the face, you're talking on YouTube, you're talking on Reels, even if you're able to build this particular technology on your website, from a customer support point of view, FAQs, there are a lot more things that you can use this for. So let me just quickly launch this. So by the way, this is called, it's a state-of-the-art technology. It's the world's first, most highest quality lip sync technology. Hello.
Hi there. I'm Bruce from Pitch Pro. Great to connect with you. How's your day going so far? What brings you to our coaching session today?
I'm actually in a live session, so just wanted to get few tips on sales coaching. So if you can just give me what are the top 3 that I need to use on a day-to-day basis.
Top 3 sales coaching tips that I find are absolute game changers on a day-to-day basis. First, always lead with a strong, personalized value proposition. It's about connecting the dots between what you're selling and the specific pain points or goals of your prospect. Second, master the art of active listening. It's not just about hearing the words, but really understanding the underlying concerns and needs of your buyer. I've seen so many deals go from stalled to closed just by making that extra effort to truly understand the prospect's perspective. Third,
so this is the technology. So just wanted to show you like a preview. So this is also possible right now. And if you say, okay, I don't want to use Tavis, we have something called Hagen. Most of my videos, if you go to our website right now, all the videos are basically generated by Hagen. Very simple, just sit in front of the camera, record yourself, and you can start putting your own You know, self-branding has become so easy right now. It's just that you just have to put some time, have some patience to learn it. None of these technologies are actually very good. They just released, they are in the alpha stage, beta stage. They're going to get extremely good. But if you start today, like I said, you have an unfair advantage. That is what gets created within 6 months or 1 year. So the big question, why now? So why now is the urgency of acceleration with the highest delivery. For the very first time in the entire history of last 25 years of marketing, one person is able to deliver 10 people's work. And this is already happening. And I'm sure everybody knows Varun Maya. So he basically started his first workflow with 10 or 8 people. Now one person is actually doing the entire workflow. Every video that you see has minimum millions of views and only one person is doing it. Why? Because this guy mastered on how the workflow should happen, how to push content. Like morning they get a topic from Feedly, evening the script is ready, this guy gets it reviewed, and that's it live. If it is so easy, why are we not doing it? So just please go ahead and please master Vibe marketing. So most important thing that I advise to most of the people is we need to live 5 years ahead and embrace Vibe marketing, because we're in the most early stages of Vibe marketing. Like this is like not even 6 months we are there. But if you start thinking 5 years ahead, you will become the expert in this field. And you get to basically solve this to a lot more people. So giving that early start, exploring these tools, understanding your own tool set. First understand which LLM does what, then understand which tool does what, create your own tool stack. So for image generation, I specifically use something called Ideogram. Most of these images are basically generated using Ideogram because you need to understand that these models are trained for a specific output. And hence you're able to get such high quality images. So similarly, you pick your own tool stack and start implementing them, and you'll get to the final stage. So I'm gonna end the session with a small demo that we've been exploring. So this is also a little bit futuristic in terms of idea. How many of you know the meaning of solopreneur? So there's a saying that there will be 1% billion-dollar companies. You know how? That guy is having a platform like this. I'm sure HubSpot will also do something like this. So what it does is, just imagine, okay, don't take it seriously. Just imagine Enoch doesn't have any employees and he still needs to run Smarketers. How will he do it? He will literally go and configure each of these roles as agents in the platform. They will do the exact same thing. Whatever a human is doing right now, they'll do the exact same thing with the same roles and responsibilities. If you say go and do lead generation, they'll only go and do lead generation. And then they'll pass it on to the next one. So similarly, it is possible that we can create agents and you create an orchestration flow where you basically build these campaigns and they run automatically all by themselves. So for voice, we have voice agents. For live interaction, we have Tavis, Hagen. Okay, what else do you need? For communication, I'm sure there's ChatGPT already sending series of emails, chatting with you, it's already doing. So most of it, everything is basically possible using these agents. So I hope I've thrown some light onto the future. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Any questions? Developers. I want developers to ask questions. So by the way, please make sure that you're paired with a developer, because that guy is gonna ramp up your skills a lot. Anything that you can't do, you just give it as a task and let him come back and do it. So that really helps you a lot. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Manish, for that refreshing perspective on human-centric marketing in a hyper-connected world. Up next, we have our speaker, Leela Shankar, who brings wealth of experience from intersection of technology and marketing. A seasoned growth marketing strategist and digital transformation expert, Leela Shankar has consistently helped businesses unlock measurable impact through AI-driven innovation. In today's session, he'll be discussing how actionable AI growth hacks and tactics help businesses optimize in marketing full funnel challenges and personalize outreach at scale and drive intelligence data backed decision. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Leela onto the stage.
Now, I think I'm the only speaker today who doesn't have a blazer, who just came in a white t-shirt. And also only person who doesn't have any slides. I'm going to only show you all the practicalities on how we can use the data. The problem with our marketers is that by definition, we're non-technical, right? Sales, marketing, and we don't know what is this AI and all this kind of stuff. So right now, I'm going to show you a few use cases where you will know that we're not even using the default ChatGPT to the maximum potential. I'm going to show you a few manual workflows that'll actually be really crazy. By the way, this is my bookmarks. Okay, this is nothing. This is just my bookmark manager. People are taking photos of it. So the thing is, what I was saying. Today, I'm going to show you everything practically and how you can use a normal ChatGPT, but with leveraging a lot of data. That is very, very important. I'm going to show you a few manual workflows and then show you how to automate them as well. Right? By the way, how much time I have? As much as, huh? Okay. I'll also start a stopwatch here. Don't worry. Okay. So the first and foremost thing is, let's say we're doing comp data analysis, right? We are marketers, we analyze a lot of data and stuff. Now, let's say you wanna actually go and analyze a Facebook ad library. Sorry, bro, Vaibhav, I'm gonna analyze your Facebook ads right now. For a brand like Growth School or any other big brand, 150 is a very small number, right? Like HubSpot and other people will do a lot more other, thousands of ads, thousands of ad accounts. Let's say I want to analyze all these ads. There are 150 different ads, and each of these ads is of a different product that they're selling, right? Growth School sells a lot of courses. And again, each of them will have different versions, right? Different versions inside of them as well. It's a heavy task. If you want to do it, it'll take you some 5 days, 10 days, whatever it is. And the problem here is that we as marketers, if we analyze something, it is very subjective, right? You might see the same ad, your colleague will see the same ad, you both will have different perspectives. But what if we can actually get all this data, upload to ChatGPT and use ChatGPT as a data engineer, right? Now there are tools out there that can scrape Facebook ad library, Google ad library, whatever it is. So this is the scrape data of Growth School. What are you seeing over here? It's kind of an old data. You can see the entire ad body over here, right? The CTA type they're using, any sublinks they're using, and most importantly, the display format. DCO is dynamic content optimization. That is the automatic placement of meta, right? And image is image, video is video, we all know that. And here we also get the URL of the landing page, right? And by the way, this is a clean data. If you really scrape, this will be the source data. We'll have more than 150 columns. 116 columns we have. Hello? 160 columns we have. This is the raw data. We actually cleaned it and we got all of these things. And the craziest part over here is that, let's say, okay, so too many tabs. Let's say we have this image ad. You can see your product management career begins here. So the problem with a lot of scrapers is that they can only scrape the text and give you the link for the image. But here we have the CTA and everything in the image itself, the headline, the CTA and everything else. How to do that? Of course, we have AI right now. We connected ChatGPT image model. Now it'll take this image URL and gets the headline, CTA and subtext of the image. And if it's a video ad, this is the URL of the video and it'll get automatically the transcript of the entire video, right? So you literally scrape and this can be done in 5 minutes, right? So you got the entire database of all their ads. Now what next? Simple. I'll just download this as a CSV, upload to ChatGPT with a few basic prompts. Based on this metadata, again, it's an old one I'm showing you, analyze the LP data together and group them. Now it is telling me these particular links. Let me open the tab. Yeah, these particular links, okay, for this landing page are 15 ads, for this landing page is 12 ads. So I grouped all of them. So basically, if I can just show you directly, what I got from here is that I have a specific prompt, which ad group of which CTA type, which group name, display format, specific ad groups. Like there's a couple of data points that I've seen. And if you scroll down, I asked it, who will read tables when it can create graphs? If I can show you right now, these are the graphs. Let me zoom it in. For which program, how many number of ads are running. And by the way, all of this is done in a span of 2 minutes. Once you have the data, you upload to ChatGPT, you get it, right? So which D2C campaign has 15 ads? Mobile app, they have more than 20 ads. That is the highest that they have. Other campaigns, product management program. And if I scroll down, what is the CTA type for each of those campaigns? Apply now, book now, learn more, sign up, whatever it is, right? And if I even scroll down, what is the display format that they're using? They're using mostly DCO. As you can see, that is the data that we have over here. That means they're using the automatic placement of Facebook. Now, here you can see Figma Workshop, they're using images. A couple of campaigns are only image-based campaigns. If I scroll down, you can see which particular platform they use for which particular workshop, right? For Figma Workshop, Audience Network, Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and all the other things. Now, what to do with this data? Simple. If you can see now, this is the lifetime of the ad. The longest running ad is D2C new campaign, and the shortest one is product management and Figma Workshop. If you look at it now, if you just think about the data, they are using DCO format for all of them apart from Figma and other things. So whatever they're using specifically video ad or image placement, that they're using for the recently launched ad. That means they're experimenting. So every time they launch a new ad, they'll actually have specific placement, and then they're actually, once they find the winning ads, they're actually pushing it in DCO format with a lot of budget. This is an insight that I got, right? Like that, you can do it for any number of ad accounts. You can do it on Facebook ads, you can do it on LinkedIn ads, you can do it on any single ad library, right? And not only this, if you go to Claude or even ChatGPT, it can create beautiful dashboards like this. This is called as Claude Artifact. Once we load all this data up, it will create these things. Now, how we use it internally in our agency is that simple. We don't do reporting to our clients. We lightly take their data, create an artifact, share them that link, weekly report, monthly report. No more presentations, they can actually interact with it. Of course, it's one time, it doesn't update automatically, but this is how you can actually do it, right? That is just one thing, which is competitor analysis. Let me make it even more crazy. Let's say organic socials, right? No matter, you can be the craziest marketer in the entire world, you can be the CEO of Instagram as well, but you never know until you post. You never know or guarantee certain result on organic socials, right? It's always about testing out, waiting, posting, waiting, posting, waiting. Even with AI, no matter how big is your prompt, it is assuming at the end of the day. What if we have data backed way of what is working of our competition? Let's say this guy is Justin Welch. Let's say he's my competition and I want to post and grab the same audience that he has. Now, if I scroll down, this guy posts almost 2 times every single day, if I'm not wrong. 8 hours ago, 23 hours ago, 1 day ago, 1 day ago. So every day, 2 times he'll be posting. Now, what we'll do? Simple. We can scrape all of his data. And how many? And each of them is nothing but, here is the entire post content along with the post URL, along with the images of the post, and also how many people liked, how many people commented, the entire history of it. And how many posts do we have it? For 2,000 posts. 2,000, 2 posts a day, that is 1,000 days. That means almost 3 years of data. Right? Now, in this Excel file, we have 3 years of all the data of this particular person organically on LinkedIn. What I'll do? I'll go to our best friend ChatGPT, upload it, and ask a few things. First, I'll ask you to categorize the kind of post. Is it a marketing post? Again, these categories will be different for different persons. This person talks about solopreneurship, marketing, entrepreneurship, and all those things. So first, I ask you to categorize in that way, or else if you want to categorize it in terms of text post, image post, or video post also, you can do it. So I gave it a few prompts, and if I scroll down, here is the data. He's posting a lot of posts on Friday, and the least number of posts is on Thursday. And not only that, if I scroll down, he's posting a lot in October. Why is he posting a lot in October? Maybe an insight is he's from US. From October, it's there all. No one works in October in US, right? From October, Cyber Monday, all these things happen. So that's the reason why to maybe tackle the algorithm, a lot of less people will be there on LinkedIn, but to keep his average amount of views, maybe he's posting a lot. And if I even scroll down, posting pattern based on time, this is in IST, 1 a.m. He's in the US, right? So maybe it's 10 a.m. at his place. I think he's from New York or something, 1 p.m. or something. But as you can see, every single post is on the dot. That means he's scheduling his post. A lot of people, marketers will tell you if you schedule your post, you won't get reach. But this guy is doing it, right? Now, if I even scroll down, this is very interesting. Average engagement by the day of the week. Which day people are engaging with this post? Most, it's on Thursday, after that it is Sunday, after that it is Friday. And if I even scroll down, average engagement by category by day of the week. So mostly image plus text is working for him. And that too, for all the days, he has the most engagement for image plus text. And that's the reason why he always posts as an image. And if I even scroll down, you can see the average engagement that people do. And what is the use of this entire data, you say? Simple. Now we'll analyze all of this and create a bulletproof content calendar for us based on the data. Now it will tell me, hey Leela, image plus text, text only, and document posts are the one that is performing really well. And not only that, on Sunday to text only posts, because that's what ChatGPT has figured out, that on Sunday, if you are doing text only posts, he's getting most engagement. On Monday, if he's doing document post, it is most engagement. On Tuesday, if he's doing image plus text, it's having most engagement. And not only that, if you scroll down, for image plus text, the framework, problem, insight, solution, if you do this, he's getting the most engagement. Every single thing, which day, which kind of post, which format. And if I even scroll down, it will also suggest the topics that got him the most engagement as well. Right? And if you really want to target serious on social media, especially on LinkedIn, do this for the top 3 to 5 profiles in your industry, and you will have a data-backed content calendar. You don't have to guess it. I'm not saying you'll get 1 million followers in one day, but you at least get 10,000, if not 10. Right? This is what is a data analysis side of things for organic socials. Again, what am I using? Just ChatGPT. I just uploaded a CSV file. Right? Now, let's say you got a new client, I want to do some market research. Now, we can make a lot of automations. We use this thing called as Make. This is actually Boost Space, which is kind of almost Make. Here, what we did was, you just have to give, I think it's expired, you just have to give, let's say this is a company, I just gave the website of this company, and now this particular automation will go to their website, do a couple of things with a couple of ChatGPT notes. It will generate an entire marketing report for me. Summary of that company. And not only summary of that company, if I scroll down, ICP demographics, age range, gender, income level. This is also basic. But this is where a lot of marketers miss out. A lot of digital marketers, right? What do? We only just punch in the demographic numbers, right? Age range, interest, gender, these things. But that's not marketing in my opinion, right? Marketing is understanding the customer. That's where we come up with psychographics, the psychology of the customer. What are the top 10 problem statements that they have? What are the top 10 fears that they have? What are the top 10 objections they have? Challenges, dream outcomes, all these things. If you want to do anything for a client, this is the base. If you want to write an ad based on past, you have 10 problems, 10 fears. That will be used for problem and agitation. And your thing is a solution. For IDA, BAB, whatever framework you want to use, this is the underground data that you want. If you can give this to ChatGPT, this will actually be very, very effective, right? And not only that, after getting the demographics, psychographics, I'm also going to get, based on them, the kind of marketing positions that I can have for this particular company, right? So positioning number 1, this one, positioning number 2, positioning number 3. And now, for every positioning, what are the marketing strategies, lead generation ideas, and growth hacks that I can do for each of these positionings? And all of this done in a span of 2 minutes through an AI workflow, right? So if you can actually leverage workflows, you can actually do this. And this is nothing but my proposal. If someone asks me, hey, send me a proposal, I hate doing PPTs, by the way. I just hate PPTs. If I want to show something, I'll directly show like this, or I'll just have some mind map kind of things, right? So the thing is, I don't do any PPTs. Never in my life to any client I never send a PPT in my entrepreneurial experience, right? So if someone asks the proposal, I'll send them this. Hey bro, this is the research I've done for your company. If you think this works, we can work. As simple as that, right? Now, if you want to do, let's say, LinkedIn leads, I created one more automation where if you just come over here and give me, and the problem with a lot of automations is that it will run on its own. But what if I want to come and break the workflow? What if I want an approval for a workflow? This is called as human in the loop, right? Human in the loop is nothing but where a workflow will take my permission to actually proceed after a certain time. So here what I did was I just created a very simple form in which you can just give the job title, industry and location. And it will go ahead and scrape Google to find the LinkedIn profiles, right? Once it finds it, it will come and add over here in this particular sheet. And then it asks my permission. Hello, Lila, I scraped a list of CEOs LinkedIn profiles in sales industry located in Dubai. If I click on that, I'll come over here. And now here I can check the profiles individually and just say yes over here. If I just say yes over here and come over here and just say approve, now it will go ahead and fetch the entire history of that person from LinkedIn. These are all their skills and cities from LinkedIn. And now I'll trigger one more workflow which will write a personalized email for them and a personalized connection request with them. All I have to do is just upload 3 fields in a form, right? These things can be really, really powerful if you know how to leverage these things. So let's come to some organic stuff, right? In terms of organic social media. So this is an internal workflow that I've done. By the way, I have Instagram profiles. Let me show you my profiles once so that you know. This is my Instagram profile. I have almost 50k followers. I do it in Telugu. I also have an English profile over here as well, where I automate using HeyGen videos just like Varun Maya, right? HeyGen and Neven Labs and all those things. These are all automated videos. For this research, I have an entire workflow. Let's say I'm consuming content and I liked one of the reels. I'll just come over here and paste the link. I actually created a form. That form will paste the link over here. It'll grab the video title, it'll grab the transcript of the video, no matter if it's an Instagram reel or a YouTube shot. And once I get the transcription, I already trained a GPT based on the kind of content that I want. So it takes the transcription, does some online research and rewrites the entire scripts for me. And here, auto selects the topic. Is it an AI and tech topic or a general topic? And it also generates me 5 different hooks, right? And also, it'll also generate me Telugu hooks if I want it to. Telugu script if I wanted to. And of course, these are not the final ones, but the moment I share them and I come and look at this, I just spend 10 minutes, which is the really good video, which is not. I'll just edit the scripts here and there, and I'll send it to my team. They'll generate the video using HeyGen and 11 Labs, if it's an English video, right? So, and not only that, we have this AI news section where every single day, it'll send me all the AI, top AI news with the links, the photos, the snippets, the summary, and the other sources as well. So these are the internal automations. Now I don't need an intern. I used to have a person who used to only do this. Now I shifted him into AI automations. I taught him automations now so that he can automate more of my stuff, right? So these are the automations that you can do, that we can actually do in our real life agency situations or any marketing situations, right? And not only that, if I come to this IG scraping, here, these are top 3 IG competitions that we have. I think this Varun Maya channel, 100x and some other channel, every single day it goes and scrapes their Instagram for new reels. What are the new reels that they have posted? And it gives me the same thing. How many people commented? What is the first comment? Like counts, video count, every single day morning at 10 a.m. and the duration of that video. Right, you can see Nixer, Varun Maya, 100x engineers. These are 3 things I'm observing. So based on this data, I know what is actually trending as well. So these are multiple automations that we can do just to observe our competition as well. I don't have to do research. My team is not doing any research, right? Now, I'll tell you one more growth hack. Here, we went ahead and scraped a lot of 100x engineers videos, right? We got their transcriptions from YouTube. What to do with this? Again, we have one more automation to get these things. But if you actually go to Claude, even the free version of Claude, there is something called as writing styles. You know, there's a use style. If you click over here, you can create or edit styles, you can actually go ahead and upload a sample of that content. So let's say you like some particular company or company's social media videos. If you like the scripting, scrape as much as you want, come and upload it over here. It will create a writing style for you. I already created it for 100x, you can see, right? So like that, we can also do, again, it's a free version. I don't even have pro version of Claude. You can also do that using Claude, right? That is one of the things. And how to scrape all of these things, the multiple platforms, there's something called as Appify. There's something called as Rapid API. There's so many scrapers online. You can just get it with a Google search. Now, not only this, what you can do is that, let me show you a few AI ads. So this is my Telugu channel, and almost all of the B-roll that you see is either a real B-roll or a AI generated B-roll. So this is Steve Jobs. He was never there, right? He never did this. This is an AI generated B-roll, right? That is an AI generated B-roll. Almost 80 to 90% of our B-roll is either in movies. If you can't find any movie clip, then it's directly an AI generated video. Like real clip, a movie clip, or an AI generated video. We never use stock photography. I never had a subscription of that as well, right? So people connect to real footage or really good looking AI generated footage as well. And not only that, I don't know how many people are testing this out. These are all my AI generated videos. A couple of them are real. These two are AI generated. Let's say, yeah, this one. Will we get sound? Anyway, so that is my Heijan avatar. You can, if you can hear, you can also hear my voice. I think the audio is not working right now, but it's fine, right? All of these videos. And the thing is, if you see, you have to be smart about these things. If you look at any of this frame, I don't know to pause. Okay, let me pause any of the frame. In this frame, I trained a Heijan video looking at the side. So people have few assumptions because of the initial AI avatar technology. AI will not actually train your video if you're not looking at it. But if you can look at a slight angle, it can detect because it needs the entire face. On top of it, I'm holding a mic. I don't want to, technically, I don't have to hold the mic. But it looks natural because I'm talking, right? And I sat on a sofa and normally looking casually talking. So if you're really training an AI, an AI video, you have to take a few things into consideration. You have to be smart about it. I'm holding mic over here, I'm talking, seeing somewhere else. These are all real things, right? Again, mic. And one more thing is you can't do a lot of movements. So if I just be like this and record a video, you'll be like, hey, it's an AI video. Who will talk like this? But if I just stand like this and talk, who will talk like this? But if I have this mic right now in my hand, I can't move like this, right? And if I have my hand rested on the sofa, I can't be like this. Only I can do like this, which is natural, right? So you have to be very smart about how you train the AI as well. Now it doesn't look a lot of AI, it looks kind of natural because of that situation in the environment I recorded that in. You have to play along with the AI limitations, not wait for the technology to mature by the time you have all the competition, right? Now, how to do this? We tested this in ads as well. I run an AI marketing workshop where we do a lot of ads. Everything is a video ad. And what we observed is that out of every 10 AI ads, again, Heijan ads, absolutely. I never recorded them. It's all my Heijan avatar ads. 60% is our hit rate. If you normally do a video, we get around 30-40%. But out of every 10 video ads, we'll actually have 6 to 7 ads. 60 to 70% is where it'll actually work very well. It'll reduce our CPA as well, right? One of those ads is Ghibli. The moment Ghibli got famous, everyone was posting their Ghibli ads, Ghibli images on social media, changing their DPs. I never did that. I just made a Ghibli ad, and overnight my CPA reduced by 25% because this was trending. The other day something was trending. Use that and make an ad. You have to be very, very quick in terms of these things. So let me actually play. Again, this is not a normal Ghibli ad. This is a Ghibli ad of one more winning ad that I have, which was actually working. So I just made a Ghibli version of a normal ad, which is already done its course, right? Now, not only this, let me show you now how to get all of these things together, right? Now we have an interface over here. Normally this is, we have so many open source software, this is like Open Web UI, and we just branded on top of it. This interface looks very, very similar to ChatGPT, but it is much more powerful. Here, what you can do is that it is installed on your own server, it is installed on your own system for your own company, and we can chat with any model that you want. Grok, ChatGPT, Gemini, DeepSeek, Perplexity, Anthropics, any single thing. DeepSeek, right? And now, not only this, you can select multiple tools like this. Let's say I want to go over here and use Claude or something else. Let's use Gemini. If I just say hi, now I'll get 2. You can add how many ever you want to, technically, depending on how big is your monitor, and you can read, right? You can compare with the same prompt. And on top of it, here we have something called as workspace. Here we have something called as a knowledge base area. It is like a Google Drive where, so first let me make it into light mode so that you can see it clearly. Yeah. So in this knowledge base, here you can actually upload the files of your client. BirthMod is one of my clients. We uploaded their entire content over here. Keyword analysis, website content, website homepage, marketing strategy, whatever we have, we uploaded the entire data over here. It's only one-time activity, just like you maintain separate Google Drive folders for your client data, right? Once we upload all of these things, we can also save prompts over here, right? If I click over here, these are all multiple prompts. If I click on any of these prompts, we'll get all of these things, right? So we can create multiple prompts, we can do multiple knowledge bases, and we can also fine tune or make a custom GPT for things like, marketing plan, Google Ads Writer, Facebook Ad Writer, whatever it is. Now, what's the use of all of these things? If I go to a new chat right now, I just have to press on this hashtag. The moment I press on the hashtag, I can get the entire data of my clients. Done? 5 minutes. So now if I just click on this, it is what? Birth model, the entire data is loaded. And the moment I press on this backspace, I'll get the entire list of prompts as well, right? I can click on any of this prompt. The prompt is preloaded right now. I just hit enter. So you don't have to rely on anyone for exact prompts as well. For the entire data of your customers as well, you can directly upload it. And on top of it, what you can do is that, let's say you don't want to spend any API credits. There's something called as OpenRouter, which is nothing but an aggregated API of other LLMs. There you can actually use DeepSeek free model for absolutely free. And DeepSeek is good enough. ChatGPT 4o and DeepSeek are almost same to same, especially for marketing. So you can always use the DeepSeek one for free and never have to pay anything for API credits as well, right? Now this is just an interface. But now, finally what I want to cover over here is that we have something called as MCPs. MCP is nothing but, it is called as Model Context Protocol. People are calling it as USB-C for AI agents. I don't want to go into technical details, but what I want to show you over here is that you can create AI agents on top of APIs. For example, I told you, let me go to the new chat. If I go to Meta Ads MCP, and I'll just say hi over here. Now this is an AI agent that is connected to my Facebook ads. I don't have to open anything. I don't want to add any Excel sheets, nothing. It will just list down all the Facebook ad accounts that I have. And once I say, get me ads from this, get me ads from that, it'll get me all of those things. So let me copy this. I'll say lifetime. Lifetime data. Or last quarter data, last month data, whatever it is, we can say, it'll directly go ahead and fetches me. Now if you want to ask it, compare the last 3 months in a table format, it will do that. Compare all these things and give me an insight report, it will give you. If you wanted to create bar graphs that we saw in ChatGPT, it can give us, right? So it can do, again, this can be connected. As you can see, everything I got, impressions, clicks, actions include, all of this data. I can get it in table format, however it is. I can do, and for this MCP servers, we can do it for anything. Google Ads, Meta Ads, ad scraping. If a software has an API, that can be connected to an MCP server and that can be deployed anywhere. Let's say you don't want this interface. Fine, man. But you want this AI model. You want this Facebook Ads MCP server. You know what you can do? The same MCP server be connected on N8N. You see this chat. This is an N8N chat. N8N is one of the no coding tools, code automation tools with no code. You get the same functionality. Let's say you want to do it in ChatGPT. We can create a custom GPT, and this custom GPT is connected to the same MCP server that is connected to your ads, right? You can do the same thing. I can just say hi, the same functionality over here. Let's say you want to use Claude. You can use Cloud Desktop and include this as an MCP server. It's kind of more technical. Or let's say you're using Cloud Pro in the cloud, you can add this as an extension. So no matter where it is, let's say you're only using WhatsApp. You say that nothing, मेरे को WhatsApp में चाहिए. We can deploy this in WhatsApp as well. The thing is, this MCP server is very, very crazy. If you can create it yourself and host it in the cloud, you can host it anywhere and everywhere, right? From WhatsApp, Cloud, ChatGPT, your custom interface, anywhere. And it will save you a lot of time in reporting. And we're already doing it for multiple agencies in Hyderabad. So we automated a lot of these things as well for them. So I'm just telling you all of these use cases so that you know where to go. You know what to do with AI, right? I'm done, just 2 minutes. One of the other use cases that you can do is invoice. Let me show you some invoice processing. We are doing it for one of the restaurant chains. If you see over here, there's a handwritten invoice. Traditionally, OCR software can't do that. But right now, a lot of people don't know about this, but there is an AI-powered OCR right now. Mixer launched an AI OCR. There are other companies that are launching OCR, which are intelligent than traditional OCR systems. Now, this literally, you can upload in a normal N8N workflow, which I made it. And this will directly add into an Excel sheet. And let me tell you guys, this alone, restaurants are ready to pay. This simple workflow that you can do in 5 to 10 minutes. You just have to know where to use it in the right way. Right? And finally, I'm going to show you a few images. This is, I think you guys know him. No? How many of you are sleeping? No one? So we have a new model called as Flux Context that can do this. You can actually attach that API and make any of these things. We just made a form. You just prompt it, upload an image. It will do that. We also have fashion designers, right? We have one more automation where you can give the model image and the garment image, it will actually do it. We have so many APIs. You can also fine tune your own diffusion model using Comfy UI as well. This is one of the examples. The same person. If I scroll down, the same person. If you scroll down, the same person. If you scroll down, the same person. If you want a different, it's a kid with the same thing. This use case, if you can go for a D2C brand or an apparel brand, they will take it up. And let me tell you a very quick story. We were messaging one of the biggest apparel brands in Hyderabad. For the first 1-2 messages, they kind of ignored. The moment I sent them this pic, I got an appointment, right? So that is a thing. So these are a few things that on how you can use AI. Let's say you really are interested in this. You want to learn more. If you want to get an entire gist of this, or if you want to get connected with me, just scan this QR code. It'll actually take you to WhatsApp, my number. You just press the button and I'll get the message. So that's the thing. Any doubts? Any doubts? No doubts? So either you guys know everything or you didn't understand nothing. That's the only two situations where you don't have any doubts. Yeah. The local LLM, what we can do is that we can also do on-prem solutions where, let's say DeepSeek is absolutely open source. You can take a server on your premises or you can have a server on the cloud and install DeepSeek over there. The entire data will be local for you. And let's say you don't trust China, you can also use Mixel, which is a French model, which is absolutely free. And actually Kiwi 2 has launched from China itself, which is as good as ChatGPT 4.0. Right? So no matter where it is, you can use AI. Okay. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much, Mr. Leela. That was insightful and very forward-thinking session on how ChatGPT can automate your half your growth marketing process. And up next, we have a panel discussion moderated by Mr. Shimon Joseph, along with our esteemed panelists, Mr. Adarsh, Country Director of HubSpot, Mr. Enoch, Founder and CEO of Smarketers, and Mr. Jyotish Jain, Head of Global Marketing, SmartWinner. Thank you so much.
The topic is on unlocking growth with HubSpot and how B2B marketers can maximize ROI through CRM and automation. And we have already Abhigna gave an introduction, but I still want like to give a small introduction, starting with Adarsh. Already we heard a powerful, inspiring speech in the start of the session, and Yesterday, Pulkit shared some great stories about you, but it was a good one, be rest assured. And he told me that, Adarsh is more like a celebrity. He's got a celebrity status in HubSpot. Really glad that you're part of this session. And then we have Enoch, who's the founder of Smarketers B2B marketing, and also a platinum, also a partner for HubSpot in terms of, helping to align the entire key marketing and sales objectives. And also my boss, so really overwhelmed. And third is Jyotish. Jyotish is the marketing leader for SmartWinner, a SaaS company. In fact, recently, he played a very pivotal role in partnering with HubSpot in the current organization. And also, we've got a Mallu connection as well. But don't worry, we'll not speak in Malayalam today. So let's dive in. As I said, I'm quite overwhelmed because I have like a celebrity, I have my boss, and I have a Mallu connection. So I will take a very balanced approach here. So let's dive in. So start with you, Adarsh, since you mentioned how HubSpot is evolving and adding a lot of new innovations, and especially the key objective is how the B2B companies grow. I wanted to understand in terms of what do you think from a HubSpot, from a platform perspective, what makes HubSpot a go-to CRM for B2B companies, and especially in today's ecosystem?
Before I answer, I wanted to check technical glitches. We are safe. Second, not a celebrity till I get the cape that Prabhas was wearing. Till that time, we are not celebrities. That man is the pinnacle.
We can take Leela's help. Maybe we can.
Yeah, next time when we do, I want one cape for my keynote. Third one, the only feedback I got from my earlier session is, sir, forget AI, you become stand-up comedian. Now they said that. So, and then I was thinking, why should we have a panel when you can ask the questions to ChatGPT and we'll get better answers? Anyways, thanks for the lovely intro, half of them untrue. HubSpot obviously at the cusp of growth, and thanks to most of the B2B segment customers that onboarded us. So even before HubSpot was famous in India, the only folks who really loved us were the startups, bootstrap companies, and B2B tech segment companies, IT, ITS, all of them. Reason was they understood what it means to align with a growth platform.
Got it.
Our vision itself is to help our customers grow better, which means what we teach our recruits. For example, my team, anybody comes, the first day, first lesson is don't force sell. So you will never find HubSpot folks coming and selling you forcibly. We always listen, and to my bad luck, 70% of my reps tell my customers, sir, I think HubSpot is not a good fit for you. Please go. So I'm living that life. So much for celebrity. But honestly, I think companies who really value growth have embraced a growth platform. It could be HubSpot or something similar, or it could be tomorrow some AI smart CRM that outbids all of us. Correct. It could be okay. But if you see bigger picture, I think you should align with a platform that really helps you to achieve your objectives faster. And we are generally loved only because of three things. We are easy on the eyes. If you've used HubSpot, you know we are clutter-free, easy to use. One of the biggest problems with CRM is we have to sell to the sales guys. And we know how bad we are. Yeah. We never use the tool. We don't. So to be able to treat a CRM as your best friend who gives you, like I was telling you, chief of staff, if you can manage that, then it's an amazing thing. I think HubSpot has got lucky there. We are clutter-free, easy to use, easy to adopt. Second one is scalable and fast. It's just amazing. I was the first employee of Salesforce.com in India, started that company. I've changed colors of my jacket now. I wear orange color. But to be honest with you, the feedback I get every time I go to user groups or customers or CEOs is that they don't complain about HubSpot. They which I used to get earlier. They don't complain. They're always asking me what next. And that's the beautiful thing too. And I've seen companies grow from a small little bootstrap, small seeded company to really large enterprises. I've seen them in front of my eyes. They all grow with a platform like HubSpot. Scalability, and they love the data piece of it. And the proper value to data is given in HubSpot. You get, I was saying garbage in, garbage out, very similar. HubSpot mandates generally to deal with good data, and all our partners, our best practices, everything is around that. We are fundamentally clean company with a very clean product, and we really believe in what we help impact the businesses. I think that's where I've seen a lot of trends.
Got it. Thanks. And I think so it can be so validate because we did a survey just pre-event and we found out that almost, for our audience, almost 70% are already using HubSpot.
And nobody has hit me with a stone yet.
So that's a good one. And I think so I would transition to Jyotish because Jyotish, you recently, onboarded HubSpot. I'm sure you all must have gone through multiple evaluations before choosing HubSpot. So just wanted to understand what were the top reason for you to decide on HubSpot and how it has impacted your marketing workflows?
Yes. Thanks, Shimon, for the question. So just to give a context before I answer that question. So I've been associated with using HubSpot since last at least 10 years. Yes, so the technology companies which you have mentioned, I think maybe I'm part of that. And some of the reasons in the question itself, Darshat answered already. But I just want to give that context that since I was associated with HubSpot for some time, and I joined my new company almost 6 months back, and we started evaluating the best tools, tech stack, CRM, etc. I took a step back and then formed a team actually. It includes some 10-year experience people from my team as well as the sales team because it's like you told, CRM needs to be sold to the sales team as well. So we took that, I took a step back to avoid bias from my side. So that because I've been in system for some time, so I want the best tool for the company. And like since all these AI things are happening, I was a little doubtful to be very frank, whether HubSpot's AI is like as good as what the other tools are available in the market. So what has happened after that is the team, very experienced team, without any intervention from my side, they evaluated. I can name them. We evaluated Salesforce Marketing Cloud, Marketo, and also Demandbase. These are all different types of tools, so to be very frank. So we're seeing Salesforce mostly from a CRM angle because we have CRM the other end. Marketo maybe because of workflows. The third one was Demandbase because we are a B2B SaaS enterprise company. We wanted ABM to be in the center of everything. So the team did a very detailed evaluation. There were a lot of checklists, that things we did. In the end, what I expected happened. In the end, HubSpot came as a winner. So the features, what mostly we were thinking, more than features, what we were looking for, what the team was mostly looking forward to, was more of a platform approach. Because tools are coming, every day you have a tool, AI tool coming in. And see, we are a growth company. We're growing in a very fast rate. We want something which is more scalable, but at the same time easy to use. So the platform approach of having a platforms which can integrate with any tools, any AI tool. So the second part was the AI itself, Breeze AI. We did our own analysis. We found like pretty much good with any other tools available in the market. And I was very excited to see the presentation today. A lot of new features. Some of them I was actually really looking forward to. I got a hint of what's coming. So, and we really want a clean tool, easy to use tool, which our team is familiar. So without that bias of mine getting into the team, I think they came up with a proper selection of HubSpot, and that's how it happened. Yeah. I hope I answered the question.
Yes. Thank you so much. Next question was for Enoch. Enoch, I think so Marketers is going to be a decade-old organization next year.
Yeah.
And in this, I think so you have implemented, so many HubSpot as a partner, like so many clients. What are some of the common gaps or expectations you see, especially in B2B companies before implementation, and how does really HubSpot, help to bridge that gap? If you can elaborate, maybe love to hear that.
Yeah, so depends from organization to organization, right? I mean, there are large companies that are still on Excel sheets. There are companies that are on traditional platforms like Salesforce or other few other platforms where data is very um, dispersed. It's not segregated. It's not clean. It's not properly managed, and it's also not updated. So a lot of times, what happens is there is a lot of data leakage that happens. There are a lot of deals that kind of how should I say it? I'm not getting the word, but you pretty much lose those deals because sales is not taking action on them, and they don't even know that it exists. So a lot of times when we are talking to most of our, at least the prospects, when we are doing the initial prospecting, doing the demos and all that, they're coming up with their specific pain points. What do they want to, and one of the main ask is the executive management wants a very clean view of what is happening in the sales organization. How is sales happening? What is our funnel looking like? Are we able to take the right actions at the right time? Are we losing deals because of some inaction? So that has become a key priority for a lot of companies now, given that revenue obviously is an important aspect. So when we work backwards, we obviously uncover a lot of issues that come up, and then we see, okay, what are those areas that need to be fixed? Whether it's ensuring, because we have clients where we have done extensive amount of implementation because the leadership wants it a certain way. The head of sales says, okay, I want all of these done, but the ground level sales teams are still not ready to comply. So getting people to comply is one of the biggest challenges companies face. So we're trying to solve that. The best part is that now with a lot of the AI integrations, ChatGPT, like the recent OpenAI integration with HubSpot, things have become a lot easier for salespeople. Like there is because of Breeze Intelligence, there's a lot of data enrichment happening. There's a lot of insight coming directly to the salesperson saying, this is your next action. This is what you need to do. This is a task created. Go ahead and, we'll send out an email. So the salesperson doesn't have to go in, fill every checkpoint, make sure they have to, take that action. So that way we are firstly addressing the core of the problem, then working backwards, then seeing, where the actual issue lies, then, tying basically pulling all the pieces together and saying, this is how, implementation needs to be done for you. So, every organization has a different use case.
And I can just add, of all that he said, I only picked up one thing. Traditional old platforms like Salesforce, he said, I was very happy. We are the young, agile, young guns.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And also, Jyotish, I don't know if it's too early to ask you in your recent, is there, you can share a specific campaign or something use case where HubSpot is really helping in terms of measuring insights, or something wherein the setup, I know it's too early, but if you can share some example, that would be really nice for the audience.
Yeah, I have quite a few examples. Like I told, HubSpot is not a first tool for me. I've used it many times in previous companies. Even though I may not be running campaigns or anything, I kind of know HubSpot. Even before I get into the actual results, one thing which HubSpot has helped us doing it at the human side of things, right? My teams, wherever I've been, HubSpot has helped the team transition to a very smooth adoption of AI, right? From campaign creators, campaign builders, they have transitioned to something like an AI orchestrator, right?
Okay.
Lot of sessions, a lot of these things were discussed recently, today's speaker sessions. So to make that happen, HubSpot has provided that platform for us. And what has happened as a result is, for instance, the main thing for a marketing team is go-to-market time. So we kind of, I'm pretty sure wherever I've been, I think 40 to 50% has been faster process that way. One good thing about Breeze AI and HubSpot AI is the data enrichment things have come in, the buyer intent has come in. Those things have started contributing quite a lot to the pipeline. I've seen some 20-30% uplift just because of that. The main thing I think is, like Adarsh mentioned, HubSpot is a very clean tool, depends on very good data. It helps us spot missed opportunities. And I think that single most important aspect has contributed quite a lot to our pipeline. So, and also like the normal AI things, like say, like we can create, like say, when we used to create 4 blocks a month, SEO blocks, we can create 4 blocks a day now.
Oh.
That is the kind of speed which we can do. So HubSpot has really helped us do these things. The main thing being the CRM itself, right? Having the centralized CRM, having marketing, sales, everything running on top of that. There's like the ripple effect of having everything. So definitely there has been a lot of impact on the revenue side as well. So we don't see HubSpot as a marketing tool or marketing automation tool. We see it kind of a growth engine, a growth tool for us. So keep that center part of everything, so that like at least for the marketing and the sales team, this is a very important tool for our success.
Yeah, I completely agree, because nowadays CRM is just not a tool. It's like the nervous system of the entire GTM strategy, and HubSpot is playing a great role. I think so you've worked with so many startups, enterprises, and running those entire full funnel marketing program, which is ABM, account-based marketing, inbound, demand gen. Can you share any success story where HubSpot has really made a difference?
We have so many.
I'm right here. Okay?
Yeah.
Adarsh is excited to hear that.
I won't say Salesforce this time. Maybe I'll use some other thing. We have so many such success stories. We've had clients move from another platform to HubSpot, where we're able to pull a lot of things together. Like, obviously you can do ABM from HubSpot, you can do end-to-end inbound marketing, you can do demand gen, you can run your ads directly from HubSpot. You have content remix where AI will help you generate multiple formats of content from one single prompt or one single content piece. And then you can do your social media activities. So pretty much everything is there, right? In a lot of cases, we have seen that where your inbound marketing engine is very strong, ABM also ends up giving you very good results. So we have, again, when we configured HubSpot, we ensured that every one of those pieces, like every one of those aspects is clearly structured, then integrated, so that every action that's happening from the time a user, say, comes onto the website, what pages are they visiting, where are they showing intent, based on the certain intent, how can we set up certain triggers, based on those triggers, are we seeing any kind of engagement coming in from those say the prospects, then how do we create some kind of nurturing workflows or personalization that will then be specific to that particular account or company. So a lot of these things were done. We've worked with, since we work majorly with technology, like SaaS and healthcare, manufacturing, and I would say after moving to HubSpot, the dependency in terms of multiple tools has drastically reduced.
Yeah.
We barely use like 1 or 2 additional tools like Clay or for data enrichment, something like that. But otherwise, we are pretty much dependent on HubSpot for a lot of things. So in terms of results, I mean, we have our clients who can talk about results, but yeah, we have seen very, very good outcomes, both in terms of overall engaged leads, like engagement metrics that we measure through lead scoring, account scoring, the traffic that we were able to drive, the conversions we were able to drive. So, yeah.
Others, especially since you travel so much, learn, and you're listening to stories, so good things. When you talk to B2B marketers, what do you think? What are you seeing among the B2B marketers, like especially in India, in terms of how are they adapting to automation, AI integrations within HubSpot to power that growth?
I would have answered this question very well 2 hours ago. In the last 2 hours, I met 2 gentlemen. One is that guy Manish. He made me look old. The way things are, thanks, it was brilliant. And I was like, okay, this is the new trend. What I thought was the new trend is old trend already. Just as I was sinking in that sofa, came another guy. He buried me. He buried me literally 2 feet under. Leela, I don't know how you do that with what I really want a master class. Now back to your question. It'll be an outdated answer, I'll still give. I think mostly, like I think Leela said that, And he also just said, when Jyotish said, from 4 blogs in a month, 4 blogs a day.
Correct.
Everybody wants to do whole lot of things in a short span of time, in a lot of places. That's the crux. I'm noticing everybody do that. Very simple. You want to do hyper personalization across multi-channels in a voluminous way and expect highest return. That's the trend. That's really the AI is enabling that. And I think some of the meetings when I go, I feel very privileged to see some of the companies seeing how their customers are leveraging the conversational AI. And that is the new place to be. Like, I remember when you said the blogs, I wanted to tell a story. If you're pre-AI days in the industry, you know, for anything and everything, you went to Google. Correct. And these days people are you doing enough Google searches now? You don't do, right? You go to LLMs. Exactly. So HubSpot used to be the king of anything you ask. How to run a meeting, minutes of meeting, how to run you say anything in sales marketing front office, HubSpot blog would come in like gold standard. And then we would copy it. I have cleared my MBA like that. SEO has died for us. We built a business on that. We called it inbound. We built a business saying people will read, then they'll say, oh, HubSpot, what is HubSpot? Oh, then come. Yeah. Now they're not in Google. So what we are now envisioning, part 2 of HubSpot. Part 1 was inbound, we invented, we mastered, we left our customers also enjoy. Everybody started doing inbound, everybody wrote blogs. No, nobody is reading any of it. Because you're not going the second line in the search. It's only the first one which your ChatGPT or Gemini gives you, right? Now what we're doing is, if you're writing content, how can the content be king in the new place? So that's what is the next thing that's coming up. Be tuned. If you're part of HubSpot community, we are shifting the game again. And I couldn't say that, and I'm conscious I'm recorded, but it's coming. It's a new wave which is coming. And it's stemmed from the question you asked. What is that we are seeing in the market? We are seeing buyers behaving differently. We are seeing sellers selling differently. The touch points are different, expectations different. She mentioned about customer experience. That is the gold standard. Correct. However, how you deliver that, how they perceive it has changed. Yeah. So you got to change yourself as a marketer, as a business, as a vendor. Buyer-seller dance is different. If you stay put to the orthodox way, you'll be history. Yeah. We don't want to be history. We don't want our customers to be history. We want to merge with the future. So a lot of good things are coming our way. We are really merging into the big highway that AI is created.
So this may not be for the long term, but for the medium to short term, something which I want to share. See, AI, I saw a lot of presentations today where AI is automating a lot of things. So what AI is artificial intelligence. What does intelligence do? It will help take decisions, right? So for instance, I think Leela was showing a lot of automation scenarios. But who decides to post it in the social media, in his profile? Does he risk that at this moment? Or can AI do that decision making? So till we reach that position, and till we reach this position where AI is buying from AI, which I hope doesn't happen, still people are doing business with people. That means there are two sides. There's a buyer, there's a seller. That means there's a customer. So you have to keep your customers in the center of everything. Correct. So like Adarsh was mentioning, good data is the gold mine for AI. So before you go and evaluate anything related to AI, ensure you have very good options to get good data from. That's where I think CRMs comes into picture. I'm not saying you should buy HubSpot, but buy a good CRM which can give you the right set of data, which can keep the data forever. Future proofing doesn't mean it needs to have the most advanced AI advanced feature. Future proofing mostly should be about adaptability. I mean, say 5 years from now, there's a new AI tool. Can it still work on the same CRM data? Can it still work on the most advanced AI, but still having the data to actually work on top of that? So that will be the most crucial aspect, I think. It might be a little bit coming from my older way of working, but I feel I have a strong opinion about data will continue to be one of the differentiators, at least in the next 5-6 years. So my advice is that.
Enoch?
CRM, I mean, even if you're on HubSpot today, the platform is going to evolve.
Yes.
as technology evolves, the platforms have to evolve. They have no choice. Otherwise, keeping a customer on a platform these days is extremely difficult unless they are hooked or they're getting the maximum value out of it. So if the organization wants to scale, or basically looking at creating a structure and a system for their organization, obviously they will have to buy a solution that is easy for their users to adopt. Adoption is important, and if the friction is more, if the tool is very difficult to access, you're not able to navigate easily, your user journey is bad, then adoption automatically drops. When adoption drops, the overall, the next renewal cycle, you're not going to go ahead with it. So when you're making a decision, you'll have to see how easy is the platform, to adopt. How good is the platform in terms of scaling, both internal scaling in terms of, if you're as an organization growing, or from a technology standpoint, is the tool actually adopting all of the latest AI, tools that are coming into the market, or is it even providing us the options to integrate with them? So you will have to create a checklist for yourself, and obviously, once you have that checklist in place, you'll be able to make the right decisions. Price obviously becomes a factor. HubSpot also has something called HubSpot for startups, especially if you're a startup. You get some massive discounts. Apart from that, you can always start lean and then keep scaling as you add more and more data and users to the platform. So it comes down to those two aspects in terms of scalability, ease of use, and obviously considerations in terms of how you want to start, from scratch or from another platform, moving to a platform like HubSpot.
Thanks. Okay. I'll give one advice to those who are not on HubSpot and one advice to those who are on HubSpot. And both are similar. For those who are not on HubSpot, doesn't matter what you are evaluating, all that is fine. But if you're a marketer, if you represent marketing, do not see from the lens of just marketing. Or if you're a sales head or a VP of sales, don't see it from the sales automation point of view. Either of it, it's your responsibility to break the wall. Think the customer journey from awareness, that stranger, to navigating through becoming a customer and keeping the customers for life for the advocacy. So think of that entire chain and then see what you're evaluating, be it HubSpot or whatever, will help you in that journey. Because if you think like a marketer, HubSpot, world's best marketing tool, okay, eyes closed, you buy. Sales, somebody else will be using something. Their KPIs will be different. The wall continues to stand. But if you break that wall, a tool like HubSpot is built from the same source code. Like basically, there is no holes in the plate. Whether you use sales, marketing, operations, all that, it's built seamlessly so that the customer journey is very smooth. So it's important for you to, otherwise you will say, there is an AI tool for this, a small little tool for this, then a homegrown tool, I'll use HubSpot. End of the day, my return on investment is related to a small piece of it. Right. If you really want to do justice to your company, as a decision maker, think of the company as a whole. Don't think from your department, your function. That's my advice. And for those who are already on HubSpot, buy the other hubs.
Thanks. I think so. Thanks again for all the panelists for sharing your insights. Let's give a round of applause to